Good afternoon, my beautiful babes and babettes. Oh, I am your resident active advocate, and today I would like to talk to you about Coco! These movies just keep getting better. Oh my god, Pixar, what are you doing? You're beautiful. Mwah, I love you. I found a version of the movie online where it kind of kept skipping segments. And I had never seen this movie in any other point before. So if I miss some important plot points, please let me know. But I think I got the gist of it. That and the fact that I don't exactly want to talk about Coco specifically. I want to talk about the movie, but I want to talk about it in relation to what's going on in the world right now. You know, the big problem that you're not allowed to talk about on YouTube right now, but everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about. It starts with a pan, ends with a demic. Yeah, so Coco is about a little boy in Mexico named Miguel, and he's adorable and he's very musically gifted. Oh my goodness. But his family, they're all a bunch of shoemakers, and they have basically outlawed music within the family. And he says at the very beginning, Miguel is also the narrative voice at the very beginning, my family must be the only one in all of Mexico that doesn't like music. And he has a musical hero named Ernesto de la Cruz. I think that's his name. And he idolizes this guy. He wants to be just like this guy. And the whole story behind Ernesto is that he died at a show during his grand finale after being crushed by a giant bell that fell from the top of the stage. So it was an unfortunate end to an amazing legacy. But the guy's final number was called Remember Me. So Miguel loves this musician, idolizes him, and knows how to play the guitar because of him, but has to hide his own talent from his family. They are, by the way, a multi-generational household. You get several generations of the family living together. That's what that means. But great grandmother, grandmother, mother, and Miguel, right? The great grandmother is the one who originally said to the family that we're not allowed to have anything to do with music anymore. Her father was a famous musician in the time of Ernesto. His name was Hector. And what the great grandmother, whose name is Coco, by the way, what she believed about her father was that he ran away from the family and abandoned her as a child in order to pursue his musical career, and that he died on the road and just never came back. She hated him for this perceived betrayal. The movie takes place during what is called Dios de los Muertos. Sorry, my Spanish is non-existent, but it means the Day of the Dead, which I believe is also Halloween. And at Halloween, the rift between the real world and the world of the dead is said to be crossable in the ethos of this movie. This is also true in many mythologies around the world where Halloween is recognized as the thing. For the Celts, for example, they believed that the barrier broke down between the spirit world and the real world during Halloween. And that is part of what comes into this movie, because Miguel, our main character, this is a part that I missed, by the way. I don't see how he got to the world of the dead, but he got there. And he's there to look for Ernesto and to try and play a show for him, because he wants to be recognized for the musician that he is. And his family's never going to recognize his talent. So he said, okay, why not go right to the source? Basically, once he's in the spirit world, it's kind of what he wants to do. And when he gets there, he finds Hector, who I don't know if he's actually sure at the start of the movie who his great grandfather, or great great grandfather, sorry, who his great great grandfather was. But when Hector's spirit finds out, hey, this is my great great grandson, they, and here's where the spoilers come in. They perform a show together, but Hector also explains to Miguel that if in the real world you are forgotten, your spirit disappears from the world of the dead and no one knows where you go. Miguel sees this happen in front of him actually and says to Hector, what happened? And he's like, oh, that guy was just forgotten about completely. It happens, and eventually it will happen to all of us. There's more than one mythology around the world where it is believed that, yes, you only truly die when people cease to remember you. And I think that this also lines up quite well with the atheistic idea of death. Um, in large part, atheists do not believe in an afterlife. And I mean, I'm down with that. That's fine. This life is enough. But the corresponding belief, therefore, is that we should carry on the legacy of those we love and remember those we love in order to keep their memory alive, in order to keep their presence alive in our lives, even after they're gone. What I wanted to talk about in regards to how Coco relates to what's going on in the world right now that we're not allowed to talk about. And here I want to put a bit of a sensitivity warning because I am not really, I haven't lost anyone to the thing we're not allowed to talk about, but I know people who have gotten it, and I know people, or I know of people who have lost people to the thing we're not allowed to talk about. So, with the way the world is right now, I just want to say that the ethos of this movie, the whole idea of don't forget about the people you love because that forgetfulness is the only way they can really truly die. That's the message of the movie, okay? I think that that is a very good message for right now. For anyone who has lost anyone to the thing we're not allowed to talk about, or just if you're cut off from your social network in the physical sense, if you can't see your mom for Mother's Day on Sunday, if you can't see your friends, if you can't see your siblings, because maybe they live out of town and there's restrictions on where you can go, that kind of thing. Or if you have lost someone to this pandemic and you're upset over the loss, and especially since, in large part, people have not been able to attend funerals or remembrance ceremonies, that kind of thing. And this happened in my family too. My uncle died towards the very beginning of the pandemic, and we were not able to have a funeral for him. He didn't die from, oh God, I said the word pandemic in full, but anyway, we're probably far enough in that YouTube won't catch it. I don't really care. He didn't die from COVID, but we couldn't get together and be together as a family even though we wanted to be. But that that was a while ago. That was over a year ago, right? And people though are suffering now, and people are losing people now. And the numbers just keep going up, which is why, please, for the love of the gods, get vaccinated and get your kids vaccinated, parents, and just encourage your entire family and social network and working network, your colleagues, your employees, your employers, everyone, encourage everyone else to get vaccinated because that's the only way we're going to beat this thing. The numbers keep going up and a lot of people are suffering because of it. And the best way to help one another is to be there for one another, to remember that we need one another, and also to remember the people whom we have lost to the pandemic or otherwise, because only if we cease to remember them can they truly be gone. I don't know whether I believe in an afterlife, to be perfectly honest. If anything, I believe in like reincarnation of a sort, but not in like soul to new body kind of reincarnation. It's I don't need to get into it, but that is irrelevant because the whole point is after a person is gone, you're not going to have that person anymore. You have that person in your mind and in your heart. Remember them, love them, keep them with you because they live for as long as you love them. You know, it's love that brings the species together to begin with. We are a social species. We need one another. We especially need one another's love and one another's understanding and empathy. Those are very important things to have in a time like this. And please the gods, this will be over soon. Get vaccinated, as I say. And I actually didn't take very much else out of Coco that I wanted to talk about, except that that little boy can sing so well. Oh my gosh. But it was a really impactful movie in that I'm like, okay, what angle am I going to come at this from? What am I going to talk about here? And then I'm just walking around my house, and all of a sudden my brain is like, remember, remember people. That's the whole point of the movie. Remember one another. Be there for one another. And you can, you can help the people around you just by giving your love, by giving your understanding. And hopefully that is enough to get us through the thing we're not allowed to talk about, as well as through any of the losses that we have suffered during or even because of the thing we're not allowed to talk about. So I know this took a bit of a somber turn, and I don't apologize for that because this is kind of a somber movie when you get down to the brass tacks. But it's very, very sweet, and I love the ending. It's so sweet. You have to see this movie if you haven't seen this movie. Pixar just keeps getting better, and they're really good at grabbing your heartstrings and just yanking them out of your chest. Watch the movie. Remember one another, be there for one another, love one another, support one another, and get vaccinated. Thank you. That is my analysis of Coco and my rant for the day. I take weekends off, so I will see y'all on Monday. But hopefully I can find a non-crappily edited version of the next movie. Not sure what the next movie is, but I do have the master list. Ba-ba-boom. All right, so thank you for your lovely attention and participation. Feel free to yell at me down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you all on Monday. Mwah!